Boys, 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 and girls. Okay, just a quick one. Yes, I've been busy, so yeah, there's nothing wrong. I was just a bit busy. All right, GZ10 here, and you folks will remember the lifelike weathering that I do on these. This is the latest one. Now, ever since we started building, I started building these, we actually did it a whole new way. Remember I told you that we print them like this. The basic body is PG, and then we print all the little, all those ribs and the stuff with the rivets and all that, we actually print separately in resin. Now, if you cast back to about 2 months ago, I was busy with a 35 GM for Yaku. And I had huge problems with the body, which I could never sort. The cap and the nose was fine, but I could never get look at that, eh? That's another lifelike. This is, I'm just waiting for its final handrails to dry so I can put that on as well. Okay, I'm one. Nice, eh? Very, very nice. Check how nicely the weathered stuff is just better. Finish and clear. Anyway, so walk with me. What happened was we had a body. Remember this piece of crap here that I'm circling with. All right, so there was a big paint problem here. I don't know what happened. It was just a nightmare. And because I couldn't get the paint to stick, I canned it. Remember, I even put the damn door handles in and all that, but it just... all right, now that we have that angle, you see that because it's shiny now, you can see very, very distinct print lines. Now, if you put a clear coat on this, a dull coat, most of that goes away, but it's still there. And this is always a big problem for me because you cannot sand nicely in there without taking some of the detail away and whatever. Now, look at that handle. Keep that in mind. Okay? So what we did was, we went and redesigned some stuff. Look at the handles there. Ha-ha! Isn't that pretty? Now, I want to go as far as to say that what we are doing at the moment now will change my models completely. It's just evolution. So, this rear bit, because of what I learned from that cattle wagon, we are printing it like this now. And we are printing it in ASA. Slightly more expensive than PG. Very, very strong as well. I don't want to show anything before I tested it. And I have, there's a piece lying outside here now for 4 months. It's not brittle. I shot it with a pellet gun. Why? Well, because it was there. Just a little piece that I tested outside. And it's holding up wind weather. It's raining again now. It was hell of a hot year. And yeah, no problems. But you will notice now that it's got no doors. And it's got no detail there. You see, the reason that happened was I want to do it the same as the cattle wagon now. So here is a resin door. You see, you haven't got any of those print problems. We can now print in that door handle perfectly. And this will obviously now be stuck on here. I've got them all marked out, where they go. And then I will stick this on. Now, before I do that, I will now sand this a little bit. Because with the ASA, we found now, look how it prints. This is filament, eh? Look how it prints the rivets. And we made the rivets 10% bigger so that it pushes out a bit. Now, I got to find an angle to show you. But there's very little print lines on ASA. Very, very little. But now, with it being flat like this, and I haven't sanded this or anything, this is straight off the machine. So, with it being like this now, I can go and sand to my heart's content, get it nice and smooth, without the fear of, taking anything off. And the bulk of the look this thing has is the doors. And the doors were always the problem, as you can see there. The doors will now be smooth as a baby's bottom. And that will change everything. Everything. This model is going to be, it's going to be brutal. So that's the plan. I have done a 34 as well here in the same way. But with this one, that's still a PG cab. This one, I've done the cab as also an ASA. And just to show you, I did not sand that. I just put a primer straight on. There's no sanding on this. It was straight onto the print. And then normally what I do is I sand it then so I can see what I'm doing, especially on the white. But that is so good that I don't think you just smooth that so the paint can take. So I'll run it over with a 500 grit and I'll run it over with 1,000 wet, just to make it nice and rough for the paint to take on it. And this body, by far, I've never seen anything like that off a printer. It's just beautiful. There's no marks, no nothing. And I had a lady here yesterday looking at the thing, so when she looked at this nose here, she gave me a very, very nice compliment. She says, "Shoo, it looks like metal." And that to me, a huge compliment. Because this is the look I've always wanted. So yes, we can say thank you to the GZ10 and that brilliant idea that came up with this thing, because we couldn't sand it. The details too close together. We couldn't sand this thing. And yes, that's just the way it goes. So from here on in, I'm going to build everything like that. You got to have your wits about you to stick the stuff on straight and to be obviously correct and make sure before you stick the stuff down, because the super glue I use, once that resin touches that ASA, it's bam, and it sits. So you gotta make very, very sure that you got it right. Okay, so that's that. Then I just want to show you one last little thing before we go, because I have to brag. This is my hand, washed. Okay, it doesn't look like it, but you see that there? It's one big blister. It's now a tattoo, because that's under my skin. But the end result was indeed this. Look at that. 171.8 meter lengths, done and dusted. Llagas Creek, the guys, they're just brilliant, man. I love dealing with these oaks. They listen. There was, if there's a problem, they will sort it out for you immediately. No quibbling, no nothing. And they put immediate trust in me, which I don't know from a bar of soap. And, this was a lot of money. So I'm a little bit short at the moment to do all the points. And I said to Mike, listen, do me 5 left, 5 right, whatever, because it takes him a while to do it. And I haven't paid, and he started doing it. That is the sort of business thing you want to have with a relationship with an oak that supplies you important stuff like track. All right, look at that, eh? That's sorry YouTube, sorry people, that's a shitload of track. I was thinking of another word, but no, that's a shitload of track. So yes, and if you think about it, this is about not even 3/4 of what I will need in the end. This is about 308 meters, and I'm going to need just 540 or 550 meters. Yes. All right, so that's basically that, guys. It's just to give you a video to tell you that I'm okay and that everything is going according to plan. I will show you my roof purlins I'm still waiting for, but my crossovers for the roof at the back here arrived. They're going to start welding stuff on there, and then we'll take it from there. Okay guys, I'm going to go. See you later. Goed, tot ziens.